Welcome, welcome, welcome to the last game of the second game in Limerick World Masters Ultimate Club Championship, finishing strong with a Grand Masters mixed game featuring HiJinx from Colorado, USA, and Cursive out of Toronto, Ottawa.
Toronto, Canada, Ontario.
Behind the mic, your all-time favorite, Rachel Toshnarova, joined by Troy Weston. Hi, Troy. How's your day been going?
Well, it was better when the sun was out. Now that it's back to being the windy and coldy, wonderful Limerick that it is. Hopefully don't get too cold here in the booth. The players look to be embracing it on the field, though. This should be a really good game. I'm quite excited by this. Two strong North American teams. Let's see, we've got the Colorado team. The women's section of that team are the national champions from the US, and then they picked up some men for this tournament since there was no Grand Masters women's division. And then the team from Toronto, Cursive, they are two-time national Grand Masters champions in Canada, so this should be a great game.
Not a bad call by these HiJinx women to do so, to enjoy some fun in Limerick. We do consider ourselves very lucky. And a deep shot goes up. It will be read and collected right on the sideline by Bluin. Oh, and a huge grab by Kellyanne Fagan for the first score of the game for Cursive. Canada goes up 1-0, and I was just about to say that we were very lucky throughout the game after a first windy, rainy game that we had in the morning. We will now have the last game in a similar fashion, but in between we really did enjoy some sunny, sunny Limerick.
Yeah, the rain is just pouring down, but what a beautiful huck that Westlake put up from Cursive there just to get that. And here, we'll take another look at it here. Beautiful backhand huck, read very nicely by Bluin. Put in for the easy score. Really nice way to start off this game by Cursive. So we'll see now if HiJinx can answer with a clean 0 point in return.
So again, as I spoke with the teams throughout the days, they do all agree that the bowl here, the main pitch, or as the bowl as the locals call it, does have specific conditions as opposed to the other pitches around it. The wind really swirls in the arena, changes direction all the time, adding additional strain on the players, but a miscommunication on that forehand huck down the field gives the disc right back to Cursive, who have a chance for an early break. They center the disc. But right back on the sideline with Goldstein. Oh, and the disc just out of reach of the intended receiver. A nice break backhand on the end zone line. That's Bogle. He's gonna go for the around break, but the disc goes to the ground too quickly. Krutzinger can't wrap her hand around it. Cursive go the other way. And a pretty big shot towards the middle is stopped by two defenders from HiJinx. Players, again, getting used to these conditions because literally the wind and rain picked up right after the team stopped warming up. So you would think that they have tried out these conditions before the start of the game, but as we heard the whistle blow to signal the start of the game, the conditions changed immediately. So unlucky for these teams, but hopefully they can clean things up as much as possible during these first few points. A stoppage on the pitch. Doesn't delay it too much. A nice centering pass.
Oh, what a foot block there. just a well-read swing there from Krutzinger. Got the block.
So HiJinx in a perfect position to work their set play for the end zone. And a little bit of a collision in front of the end zone, but it seems like there will be no call, or maybe a bit of thinking. We will see it on the replay. So we see that the throw was actually a cheeky push pass.
It did look like he completely stopped rotation of that disc before it was knocked out of his hand, though. So I would agree with that foul call, I think.
The players do have an option to come check our replays and better camera angles, but it seems like they will just discuss it briefly with the game advisors to see if there was better perspective from their side.
You can really see the wind and the rain just pouring down on that field out there. It is brutal conditions in this last game of the day.
So Stanley Strong will call a foul and the disc will go back, so I'm assuming a contested foul. And a high disc will be defended by Cursive. The wind blowing now sort of in our direction, so I think for the first time Cursive will go downwind from the right side of your screens to the left, and they do use that to play a bit maybe of huck and D.
Possibly unintentionally, but that is certainly what is happening now.
HiJinx pick up number 77. That's Deaver. With a throwaway on the dump, giving Cursive a shorter field to work with. Belair with a big pass into the end zone, but just out of reach.
We do apologize that there is some water on the camera lens. It's very difficult to keep off of the camera entirely during the course of this rain, as the wind is just swirling around in the bowl here as well. So we've got bags and jackets covering all of our equipment here, and we're doing the best we can to keep the view nice and clean for you. So we do apologize when it's not quite as clear.
So this is Manning on the sideline for HiJinx. He's going to decide to go with a big forehand huck.
Barely even looked like it was windy with that upwind huck.
Collected nicely by Strong. He's looking for the up line. He gets it off to Cry. Oh, and another one for Sprung. This time it's a bit low. Sprung does try to keep it in bounds and in his hands, but it doesn't work out quite the way he wanted it to. Cursive now with a low catch themselves. Centering the disc. Moving it sideways. A longish point now for both teams. Here's another drop. Players, lots of players on the pitch playing without gloves. Hoping for the natural feel. But we know it's friction gloves that do make the difference. And here's a big put. Nice forehand curving around the defender, and it will be some girl-on-girl action on the pitch. And that's a point for HiJinx, evening out the scoreboard. Only 8 minutes long, but fought till the end by Colorado.
That was a beautiful forehand huck by Krutzinger there into the hands of Melanie Deaver. Right down the line, and just like that, the rain has actually stopped here now, so we might get a bit of a break in this next point. Lucky Cursive there.
We'll see a little replay of the nice swing. Krutzinger with the exact right edge for Deaver in the end zone. Lovely stuff. I enjoy a nice girl point in the mixed division, as always.
Yeah, they used to say that it was the strength of your women in the mixed division that would win you the game. I'm not sure that's the case anymore, but just because the women have, in most teams in most countries, have gotten quite strong at this point now. So I feel like the playing field is evened there, but we're seeing some really good strength from both teams right now.
Yeah, I think it really comes down to how well you can really play mix, because it is the hardest division in terms of tactics and player skills overall, as you need to adjust to different sizes, different speeds, different abilities. So Cursive with pretty strong snapping throw that slides out of the hands of the intended receiver, but the same thing happens to the opposing team, and Cursive really looking for the opportunity for a hook, but they don't get it, so they will work it in between the handlers. Oh, and a nice low grab. That's Elzinga Chang on the sideline, looking for his reset. He finds Blowen, and a nice floaty forehand all the way to the other side of the pitch. Cursive nearing the end zone as the play is stopped due to a pick. I believe that's Hall with the disc now. One's the upline for Blowen. He gets it, and it's all the way to the end zone. That's done. That's another point for Cursive. Not a clean hold, but surely an impressive quick movement from Blowen there, really being all over the place and eventually getting the score. Cursive going 2-1 up over HiJinx Colorado.
So Cursive is actually two mixed masters teams, or two maybe mixed grandmasters teams that came together to form Cursive. So one of the teams was Bingo and Chill. The other was Banana Cream Pie. So if ever you get a nice camera angle at some point and you see the close-up of their right sleeve, there's a banana and a ball. And that is to symbolize the bringing together of those two teams, Bingo and Chill and Banana Cream Pie.
That's cute. I also enjoy the name Cursive, as I have taken a typography class in this last winter. So I got a little bit into fonts and all of that.
Well, they told me their team name stands for not only the writing style, but also expletives. So.
Oh, interesting.
I think that's part of the reason
their
name actually has symbols in it rather than.
Well, I'm really appreciating the craftiness that all these masters teams, these different masters teams, put into creating their names. If you do go through the different divisions, you will find some pearls, as we say. So we see HiJinx setting up in sort of a sight stackish looking thing, but right on the first pass, a turnover is generated. Cursive now close to the end zone. That's Hui with the disc. Oh, and a beautiful lefty inside backhand for the score. And that is a break for Cursive.
Yeah, I think that was Megan Doyle with the assist there, with that nice smooth backhand right through the middle of the end zone.
So, is it possible that this is the first break of the game? I believe so. We will see a replay of that first pass with lots of pressure from the defender. McCrary passed it to Hui. she got the assist. Good stuff from Cursive. Some players coming over for the replays to enjoy the fresh stream, fresh off the discs.
See, no, I think that was Megan Doyle with the assist there.
Was it?
Well, their numbers are actually kind of, because they've got
reading off the wrong roster again?
Well, the 2 and the 3 on the back of the jerseys can be kind of hard to decipher from this far across the field.
That's why. That's
so
the cursive.
28 versus 38.
The cursive.
Yeah.
The curse of the cursive. Anyway, as the teams go into a timeout, we're going to take a little break ourselves. So out of the timeout, we would like to quickly thank our sponsors, VC Ultimate Gear, providing lots of merch for this tournament in Limerick. Also the Discraft, the world leader in disc sports, providing the discs. And of course, the Great is back, the #1, designed by and for Ultimate players. In the meantime, a huge flick goes up. It's going in the end zone. Who's gonna read it better? No one. Both the defender and the offensive player go up, and the disc flies over their extended arm. Not a bad look though. I think HiJinx really trying to move aggressively downfield, but the defender making sure to get there early, and I think he kind of caused his player to go up early as well.
Yeah, I think that was actually quite a smart move by Westlake there in Cursive, just going up for that disc early and really forced the HiJinx player to also go up for it early, and then as a result it went both over their heads.
So for Cursive, for the defensive line of Cursive, it seems like Fagan and Gray are going to work around the disc as handlers. Game has stopped because of a foul call, which will be uncontested, and hence we will start the stall count at 0. Crawford on the mark, a big public figure for US Ultimate, Troy.
Yeah, absolutely. She's one of the co-founders of Disc Diversity and the Continent Tour, which are both to get more black athletes involved in Ultimate and playing Ultimate.
Advocating for more diversity and black representation in our community. In the meantime, Cursive have sent their women downfield, and now Gray is coming for the up line, and it's knocked away by Crawford, so that there's no chance. Sorry, that wasn't Gray, that was Fagan. And HiJinx with a third chance to score this point. Look through for the break side, not there. Kratzinger working with McKay. And a score will stand or will not. There was a foul call, apparently.
So often if there's a foul called during a throw, you can then say play on afterwards if the disc results in something you don't want to retract, basically. So if you're the thrower and your intended receiver actually does catch it, you can retract your foul call and just say play on. If there was a foul downfield, though, on one of the cutters, play would stop. And so that may be what they're debating at the moment. If the play had stopped before the disc was in the air for the goal, or if it had not.
So for those of you just tuning in at the WFDF YouTube channel and just joining our stream, maybe for the first time because you weren't that interested in the other divisions, and we're waiting for this great, Grandmasters mixed game. Please know that we do have game advisors at all of our streamed games. They're not there to take any decisions for the players. The final choice is always with the players. Game advisors can offer their perspective if asked on it, and they're also there to help players in case they have any questions regarding the rules or their interpretation.
It might be a bit different for what both of these North American teams are used to, since they might be more used to playing with observers, which are similar to game advisors, but definitely not the same, as observers will make an active call if you choose to go and get their opinion. They will be the final decision, as opposed to the game advisors and the world stage, which again, as my lovely co-commentator said, will not make a call. They will just clarify the rule.
And after several, like almost a minute of a discussion, the goal will stand, which means that HiJinx stay in the game and go up 2 to Cursive's 3.
So I'm wondering now, we've had a couple of calls, a couple of discussions here. What do you think? Are we going to see a game with a high number of calls, or do you think things will tend to level out as we progress?
So I think the players are doing their best. I don't think it is possible to avoid lots of calls in conditions like this. I do keep mentioning it, so I'm not sure if yeah, I feel like I'm mentioning it a lot, but honestly, the game as such will just bring those calls regardless. I don't think it's anything that the players can really influence that much. So a half field full. Cursive. Again, going downwind. This is 20. And a turn on that swing cut. HiJinx go the other way. They have an open player on the break side, but a foul will be called. Not sure what Crawford is signaling on the side there. She's signaling a pig. But from the hands of the game advisor, it was a foul. Maybe both occurred, really. Strunk working with D'Onofrio. He gets open for a nice middle pass, but that backhand needs a bit more spin on it, or else it will be pushed to the ground like we just saw. Pontes with a big forehand in the middle. Belair, a lefty handler, will have a little discussion with his mark. Maybe a bit too much contact.
Looked like he was winding up for a hug there. Really wanted to get that off.
And he does. Belair puts up a big one. And it goes straight to the end zone line.
Was that a love connection?
Could be, yeah. Jalil Belair right on the end zone. But they do turn it over eventually. Let's see that again. It's a nice wind up. A foot was in the way, but he got around it. Belair reads it right. She's wide open, have lots of meters over her defender. And here is HiJinx with a good gainer of their own. There's a big hook. Belair is underneath. She's gonna get there first. Good save. She has a tall frame over McVie. And Hui to pick up. He's thinking about the hook. He does take it. Belair's underneath again, but this time McVeigh repays the favor, gets the D. And here's a low backhand and a low catch, which unfortunately is unsuccessful for HiJinx.
It's the right idea in this wind to keep the passes low, otherwise you never know if this wind is just going to pick them up and take them away. But it's got to be that happy medium, otherwise it does just get pushed down to the ground, as we've seen numerous times already in this point.
That was a nice pass for Belair for like leading into space, but it was a little too slow, allowing D'Onofrio to get there earlier. And HiJinx go the other way. Oh, that's a very nice throw into space for both the open players. There were two of them for HiJinx. And this is turning a little bit into a hug there, hug here game. And another foul probably will be called on the mark by Belair. I don't mind the deep game. Most of it was the right idea, I would say, and they did have players with separation.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I think
it's very hard to execute them right.
It's just this wind, these conditions, that is really pushing that disc to just a little out of reach, or just pushing it down a little earlier than it normally would in non-windy conditions. But I think that the decisions are there. Both teams may have to learn to rein it in, though, if they continue to throw these unfinished passes in the hucks. So
again, a slightly lengthy discussion between the two players, but in fairness, it's good to figure out the level of contact that you're comfortable with at the start of the game, so that you don't have to worry about it for the rest of it. Again, game advisor ready to provide help with interpretation of the roles.
And it's nice to see that both players are remaining calm and having a nice even-headed discussion, even shaking hands, slapping hands afterwards. And that's what Spirit of the Game is really about. And even if there's been several calls between the same players, they can still manage to have a really good, fair discussion about it. I love that about this sport.
Disc gets tapped back in. We have McQuarrie on the disc. And that one is too high, but that's okay. Somebody else for the save. And here's a nice high release backhand. A little too far for Belair. There were two players underneath. Pontes was nearing the disc too, but they didn't have time to really say who's going to go for it full speed. And I think both kind of stopped a little bit before deciding who's going to go for it, and that was the inch or centimeter that was missing after all. HiJinx looking for the reset. There's nothing. They have to go for the huck. It's not a bad one, but it rolls a bit more back. Cleverly stopped by Wetsworth. And Pontes picks up for Cursive. Big backhand fake. She takes the forehand. Oh, great defensive effort. But now Belair had a full field in front of her, but here is her husband who's looking for her in the end zone, and he saw her taller than she was. Good connection there. Both Belair players really make it a difference.
I don't actually know if they're...
Yeah, we don't know, but you know what? This is what happens when you don't fill out the information for the commentators. We could be making stuff up, and it's not even our fault. I could literally call her his granddaughter, and they couldn't be offended.
Yeah, we just don't know. Same last name, there could be no relation at all. We don't know.
That's true, that's true. So a disc is centered to Strunk, but another turnover almost straight after.
Both of these teams with years and years and years of experience still having difficulties in this wind, which just shows you how difficult this wind really is to play in.
Pontes had a good look with the inside forehand to the break side, but unfortunately the defender knew about it just as well. And here's a nice centering pass. HiJinx finally get things moving. Back to the handlers. Strong goes to Wadsworth. Oh, he had a wide open receiver, but chooses to go for the centering pass. They work it to the break side. Defenders underneath, and here is HiJinx with a score. That was, I believe, Mike D'Onofrio with the score for HiJinx. 30 minutes into the game, only 5 points have been scored so far. Great defensive effort by Cursive, getting the disc several times and having several chances to bring in another break for their team. But HiJinx sticking close, we're tied at 3.
I think that was actually a break for HiJinx, so now we've got a break each, and we're back on serve with these two teams.
There's absolutely no way for me to remember who started where after 10 minutes of play. I apologize. But please do give us feedback on how you're enjoying the commentary or how you're enjoying the streaming. We're live at the WFDF YouTube channel all week long. We're streaming 1 pitch tomorrow, but 2 pitches starting Tuesday, with more crew coming in as the week progresses. In the meantime, we would very much like to thank Mike Palmer, who's doing the production, walking around, helping everyone, making sure that they're all set. All of our equipment is safe from the rain and ready to roll. Back on the action of the field, huge backhand goes up, and it's read expertly exactly in the end zone. And what an easy score for Cursive. There's absolutely no chance for the defenders. What a think of beauty. What a great moment to recognize that there was very little wind at that moment, and they just go for it. They rip it in the same third, but if you're Master's age, what is there to wait for? You might as well take the same third hooks, you know? So let's
here we go.
Replay, that's right. Centering, pass to the sideline from Baxter, and this was Hutchins, Sean Hutchins with the score. And he's already had 2 assists in this game, so he's doing a good chunk of work for this Canadian team.
We're seeing a lot of similar playing styles between these two teams from North America, both coming out looking for that long game right off the bat. Both teams really liking their hucks. Some of those hucks just getting a bit luckier than others, just coming out of the hands as the wind dies down. Those seem to be the ones that have been completed passes, other ones sailing over the defenders or getting pushed to the ground from the wind.
What can I say? Some like it deep. And another pull goes up. HiJinx actually working slightly upwind in this point, but surely that's not a problem now that the sun is back out for this last game of today. We have Krutzinger picking up and trying to dry off the disc. We see sort of a split stack-ish offense from HiJinx. Can they get it to the break side? Yes, they can. There's a nice pass from Schlosser. And here's a deep shot, but that's Pontes, who read that really well. Doyle thinks about, a wobble on the disc. HiJinx waste no time. Try to go for a little bit of the give and go. Get it off. Oh, and again Pontes getting the second D in this point for Cursive.
And with a push pass like that, kind of an easy D, not gonna lie.
Pontes now looking for different options. She has people in the end zone, but yeah, a little bit of, I don't think either one of them was in the right spot to actually get up high enough. I think that foul, well, it shouldn't be, no contact should be justified by a play on the disc. But honestly, I think both players from Cursive, did you see that on the replay? I thought they both went up before they got hit.
It did kind of look like that. It did. I'm not sure there was a chance of the offensive player getting that disc there.
I agree. I think this would be a nice moment where we have a really good angle on the camera.
Sometimes it can be quite hard to tell when you're actually the person out there playing. You think you're a lot
because you
closer.
just sit, you just hear, or you feel the contact, and it's so hard to tell when exactly it occurred. Look at that lazy push pass. But Pontes did have to work hard for that, D. Come on now, she got really high for that one.
Fair enough.
So it seems like the foul call will stand, and the disc will go back to the thrower, which really is no. That seems like a retracted call, actually, by the hand signals. Yes. Which makes it even more awkward that the disc was thrown where it was thrown, because that should just be a turnover.
It sounds like the players are discussing on whether or not it was a catchable pass or not. And
interesting.
It is going back to the thrower. It's possible that it's going back to the thrower because they can't decide, which is a reason it could go back to the thrower.
Okay.
Or it's contested.
I am by no means a rules expert, so I'm going to abstain from any further comments before I embarrass myself. But Pontes, he's gonna go for the hammer, and it's collected by number 94, and they're gonna follow up with another one, and there's a score by Cursive. Woohoo! 2 hammers in a row, Troy.
I mean, when in doubt, throw the hammer.
Spicy Grandmasters, hello there. Very sexy. That's some good stuff. I hope we see that on the replay again. So it was Pontes with the first one. It was Pontes with the first one. Look at that again. It's very flat.
That is a low release hammer.
Great stuff. I think it was Goldstein with the score. And somebody else with the assist. HiJinx maybe. 84. Oh, Goldstein with the assist. And 44. HiJinx with the score. So yeah, Cursive go up 5-3. Was that another break?
It was a break, yeah. So Cursive were up 1 break. And the sun is now shining.
We are so lucky. So much gratefulness from this tournament. You just learn to be very grateful for every little bits of sunshine and seconds of 0 rain and enjoyable weather. Oh my God, a wobble on the pole, and a great laugh from the HiJinx handlers. It seems like there's a little bit of poaching by the Cursive players, trying something new to challenge the focus of the Americans. And here's a nice break. I thought that was for the score, but it's going to be called not in. So HiJinx with a wide shot to the middle. They will try to go for the break side, but and a foul called on that step around. Good awareness regardless from Fagan. Making sure that disc doesn't go any further. We've got Curtis Menning on the disc. Takes the hammer. Looking to repay the favor. And here's Crawford with a great laser into the middle for Tina McDowell for the score. So whatever Cursive were trying to do in that point defensively, it didn't work as well, I would say, as the match D that they were employing earlier. against HiJinx.
That's certainly one of the only clean offensive points that we've seen so far. I think there's been one or two other ones, but mostly it's been turnover-filled points. So that was a nice, clean offense point there from HiJinx, bringing it up.
But we have learned not to judge because, as you can see, all the games have been a very similar story turnover-wise. It's just bound to happen. There's a lot of different parameters coming into play that the players need to deal with. So it should I don't think it should be compared to any other regular games, really. I'm just glad the players are keeping it tight. We're about 40 minutes in, and a lovely, fluffy hair ball walking on the track there. A little Irish snowball.
Making me miss my own dog back home.
Hello, Troy's dog, watching from home. Cursive moving sideways. HiJinx with a zone look. Bontes wobbles the disc that goes over her head. And HiJinx tried to get a quick continuation. They do. Their women work hard. That's Swerin. Now on the sideline looking for the reset. And a game stoppage due to a pick. Good use of hand signals by Fuzet.
I think HiJinx is having a bit of difficulty in the end zone as I hear one of their sideline players yell, "What is our offense?" But they seem to clean it up there for that score.
McDowell with an easy forehand pass to Patrick Gilman for the score.
And HiJinx answers back with another break. So back on serve again, 5-5.
Interesting. Did you see the last game that happened on this field, Troy?
I did, yes.
Was it tight as well?
It was not as tight, unfortunately.
Not as tight.
No.
Okay. Well, if you are wondering how the other games are going, or you would simply like to check on your team and see the results, please do go to the page where our dear volunteer Sen is uploading all the results, and I will tell you in a second what the address is. It is results.wfdf.sport, and you can follow the scores from the other pitches as well as from this main pitch. You can check out stats for your favorite players. You can look up the brackets, the pools. Everything is out there for you. And as we're getting some thanks from the players on the pitch and on the sideline, Cursive move upwind and through the zony look by HiJinx. And a turn generated pretty quickly, but the disc returns to Cursive. And there's no time to waste with wiping off the disc dry. Here's Fagan working with Westlake, who goes with a little lazy backhand. Good defensive effort by HiJinx. Westlake has it again. This time finds number 96. Westlake getting every second disc. I think Cursive slowly transitioning into their end zone play. This gets tapped back in. They look for the up line. They do get it! And even though there was a receiver, a defender waiting for it, they reel it in. And Cursive stay up 6-5. That was impressive. The throw went around one defender. Another one was waiting for it in the end zone. But still, a sliding catch puts another one on the scoreboard for Cursive.
huge bid there from the HiJinx player.
I believe that was McKay. And here is the big slide by number 96.
Westlake with the assist again. He's been involved in quite a few plays now.
And we're gonna get the name of our 96 mysterious number, and his name is ta-da-da-da,
Hall. Unfortunately, he's not on our roster list, but
that's okay. We will add you, Hall. We will add you, Mr. Hall. You're also gonna get an imaginary occupation that we're gonna make up for you. You're also gonna get a wife that we're gonna send greetings to. And I would say, what do we go with? 2 sons and a daughter?
I think so. Hall, I've heard he's a ventriloquist, actually, so a Torontonian ventriloquist.
Back to the action on the field. HiJinx try a luck of their own going upwind. They fill up with a nice pass that's hanging, but not hanging long enough for a Melanie Deaver to get there. And a pick call will probably not leave the disc in the hands of Pontes.
I could see where Crawford was going with that pass from HiJinx, though. It was a visionary pass that she had over to Deaver. Just didn't quite recognize, Deaver didn't quite recognize it in time.
So the disc goes back. Centering pass to Belair. She goes to Pontes. Pontes with a big flick to the end zone. There is an open receiver. Can she read it? Yes, she can, and that's a score. Another great girl point. Did you say it was Cursive who have brought it? No, it wasn't. It was HiJinx. But these Cursive women, very strong, very fun.
Very strong. And looked like the wind actually almost helped Pontes with that flick hook as well, as it just kind of popped up over those other defenders and offensive players right in the end zone into the hands of that receiver.
Well, you have to make sure you really sit it right in the air, put the right touch on it. It was downwind, but like, hello, if you know it's downwind, why wouldn't you go for the hooks that you might decide against when going upwind? So excellent thinking, excellent tactics, and of course a wide open receiver. So that's a break for Cursive, going up 7-5 over the Americans.
They seem to be doing 2 points at a time, these teams. You can see it's been 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 all the way down.
2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, Troy, is that what you're saying? Either way, if they can get another one on the board, it will be half. So Cursive surely looking to finish strong. And what a good way to do it. What a better way to do it than with a good pull. There's HiJinx. Nice forehand up the line. Gilman dumps it, and the ladies swing it over. Some big aggressive fakes by Krotzinger. She's been quite valuable on the handling side for HiJinx. Donofrio now in a little discussion with his mark, or else something happening downfield, I believe.
I think it was a travel call. I heard someone say he's lefty. He is holding the disc in his right hand right now, but I did hear someone say he's a lefty, so I do feel for him. There we go, yeah, he is a lefty. I've definitely played with lefties before who often get called for the travel because it's just a different foot that they're pivoting with.
A visionary throw from Krotzinger, and it gets rewarded.
What a grab.
A huge bid, but it will be called out of bounds. What? I'm seeing mixed hand signals.
Yeah,
well, regardless, a great play. That was very visionary, seeing the open space by Krotzinger, and a great bid in the end zone. Unfortunately, it turns out to be out of bounds. So a big chance to finish strong for Cursive. So far, stuck very close to their own end zone. The handler now really wanted some deep options as well. Belair finds her husband, or else grandfather.
Brother, sister, maybe.
So another game stoppage.
It was a pick call, I believe, this time, so the disc is just going back to where it was before the pick call.
HiJinx sticking with match D. A nice flick. And around backhand. Cursive. Oh, they will go for the inside forehand, and it's a precision. And it was a very cool throw. A crossfield inside out flick, but no call on the catch. I believe that's correct. I think it was just out of reach of the intended receiver. And
what a nice throw, though, from Blue N.
Wadsworth was there. He really look at him make up that ground just to apply enough pressure. And HiJinx respond with a deep shot of their own. Beautiful grab. HiJinx getting low. They go a little backwards to change the angle of attack. They're now on the sideline. That's McDowell. She'll take the around. And here is another girl point, this time for HiJinx. And HiJinx are saying this half ain't over yet.
Well, I am glad that McDowell got rewarded for that huge bid grab that she had earlier just a minute ago, as she got to score the final point there with that assist from Kritzinger. Couple of huge bids in that point, actually. One that went out of bounds, but then that one that made up for it just a couple of passes before the completed score. We're getting to take another look at some of these really impressive athletic plays from these Grand Masters players. Can't imagine still laying out, still throwing your body around on the pitch, still sprinting as hard as you can, as they've done for the past, what, 20, 30 years, some of these players?
That's right. Great score by McDowell. Well, you were saying, Troy, you were saying still laying out. I'm still not laying out yet.
There's still time, as you can see.
Apparently, yeah. I had a friend who her whole life struggled a little bit with forehand. She was a great player, she was a great receiver, but every time she tried to throw a flick, she was holding onto her arm a little bit. And at the age of 39, I believe, she somehow finally got into it. And then she was able to huck it, to do anything, but it just took a really long time. Anyway, as you can see, the teams have gone into a timeout, which is not a bad idea, as the first half is surely nearing its end. So we will leave you with a short commercial break. Checking out. Welcome back.
Players retake the pitch after the timeout. Could be half if Cursive scores this downwind point. But if the trend continues of 2 points at a time and HiJinx gets another break here, we'll take a universe half.
Or what we like to call it here in Europe, the galaxy point.
I haven't heard that one. I've heard double game point
and
you universe
haven't.
point.
That's cute. I don't, well, I'm not the biggest fan. but the rest of our crew is, so we can't do it to them that we wouldn't call it if it actually happened. But we're yet to see as another pull goes up. It's stopped expertly by Cursive.
Yeah, Curtis.
Ooh, and a low grab by Pontes. But she has shown multiple different skills, and this time she gets up a nice upline to Belair. Belair looking for options and goes for a laser to the break side, but that was way too strong, and the disc leaves the pitch behind the end zone line, the end zone line.
Yeah, the wind picked up just as this point started. Wind's picking up again. And if you look across the pitch at the flags, they're all blowing in different directions, it seems. So mostly in one direction, but there's a few that haven't made up their mind as to which way the wind is actually blowing.
Hence proving that there's lots of wind swirling down at the main pitch at the UL, or the University of Limerick. HiJinx with a host stack. We get the reset off. McKay overthrows Nolte. And Cursive with a short field to work with. Hui picks up. And a pick called. Stops the play.
Players are doing a good job of echoing those pick calls so that the person with the disc can acknowledge it.
Nice matchup of Pontes and Crawford there. Belair thinking about the end zone shot, doesn't take it. Pontes now wants the big swing, but a continuation from Belair. He's stuck in that same corner. Can he get it off this time? He will take it around because Pontes was so free. Blue end, sorry. And here's a big flick, lefty forehand, and it's read so easily. How did that happen? I looked away to pronounce that name right. I believe that was Hui, because he's getting a bunch of high fives from his teammates on the sideline. And how did that happen, that there was a wide open player all by herself in the corner of the end zone?
Well, Cursive take half with that. Let's have a look at that replay and see how she got so open.
I think, yeah. Oh, it wasn't, I see. It wasn't a lefty. It was just this nice sort of, we call this an American break. It starts on the open side and curves to the break side. A beautiful flake by Hui. What a way to end the half.
And I guess that's why it's called an American break, because we're, the North American teams putting it up here. Great close game we've got here so far. 8-6 for Cursive. Both really liking the huck game at the moment, working with the wind. It's such a fun game to watch here.
So stay tuned, get a little refreshment. You have about 5 minutes to come back and tune into our stream. Let us know in the comments how you like it, how you think this game is going to end up, and we're going to check out for a quick break ourselves.
The ultimate things in life are free, and we're keeping it that way. Subscribe to keep up with the latest games, tournaments, and community content. Share it with your team and friends, and drop a like to help spread Ultimate to more people. Spread the word, spread the love. Ultimate.tv.
Back in a minute. Commentators are back in 1 minute. 1 minute. You have a minute. You've got plenty of time. Stats are back in a minute.
Oh, okay. Getting back here? He seems way nicer.
Jack, shot please. Shot please. Oh, it's had
Welcome back for the second half of Grandmasters mixed game between HiJinx from Colorado, USA, and Cursive from Canada. Or more precisely, Troy?
Toronto.
Toronto, that's right. We are doing a bit of a geography lessons here in the commentary. Bjorn asking earlier whether Czechs and Slovaks were speaking the same language and where exactly Wroclaw was. So if you do want to follow our stream, but at the same time you need to be learning with your kids or something like that, feel free to just let them watch with you, because they might learn a thing or two on our stream. It's very educational.
So we're coming into the second half. We've got some really great plays that's happened in the first half so far. The wind is certainly making things interesting.
And we just saw our darling Rob, one of our video guys, there hugging his wife, I believe. Yep, he's off duty right now. She's off duty as well, playing for MCP, a mixed British team here at the championship. So enjoying some off time together. And in the meantime, Troy, do you want to summarize quickly the first half of this game?
Yeah, we saw both teams coming out of the gate pretty strong, trading points a little bit, and then they started trading breaks, getting 2 points at a time, each team. Been a lot of hucks. There's been a lot of incompleted hucks, mostly due to this wind. None of them have been really bad ideas, but just very difficult to complete those kinds of passes when you're dealing with wind that keeps on changing, picking up, slowing down, etc.
And not to forget some very, very nice girl points.
Yes, we like to see the strong women coming out in the mixed divisions.
So, like we said, the weather hasn't been too bad. There were some downpours especially at the start of the game, then maybe one extra one in the middle. But I am very surprised that this late, or should I say last game of the day, still is here to see some sun for the players to enjoy. They're all very excited. We're seeing some big smiles on the sideline.
Yes, I'm told in Ireland if it's not raining, it's a much bigger deal than if it's not windy. So we are more likely to see it, to see the wind die down, but we're luckier when we get the sun.
So HiJinx falling a little behind in the first half, especially towards the end. And Cursive will look to get a quick break or add another break to the score point. And Westlake will start us off with a pull. Cray with a high disc for Krutzinger, and Krutzinger with a big flick. Read very well but out by D'Onofrio, who's underneath. Swings it to the sideline. That's Werner. And Werner with an easy score. That was a very quick and efficient offense by HiJinx.
Yes, that was a nice, clean offensive point that we saw. Hasn't been too many of those this game, which I believe I said the last time there was a clean O point. But that was, yeah, just nice, smooth footwork down the field. They looked like they had a good chat in the halftime and decided to come out nice and strong. Great grab there by D'Onofrio.
And we see the score again. Kelsey Glick with the score.
Yep, great finish there. So, do you know what the state flower of Colorado is?
I should be able to guess by looking at the jerseys of HiJinx.
You are correct. They are columbines.
Is that the name? Are you saying?
That's the name of the flower.
Oh,
yes.
Never mind. I wouldn't know because in case you didn't notice, I'm not a native English speaker. So even if I actually recognize that plant, I would have no idea what the name in English is. But surely, yeah, a lovely, lovely white flower with a yellow middle. Could be a daisy for all I know. Sorry, Coloradians. No offense. Another big pull goes up. This time for Cursive. Fagan. And a low backhand gives a chance for a quick break to HiJinx, and they do get it in. And that's an important score, an important break for HiJinx. One errant throw is all it takes. And alert defensive line can get you just what you needed.
That was such a quick point that HiJinx is actually just telling the sideline, no, we're not coming off, we're not subbing. We're going to stay on for this next point because that was barely enough playing time.
I think that was Stephanie Schlosser with the score, with the good awareness to get open in the end zone. And just like that, we're tied at 8. Good start of the second half for HiJinx.
Heath McKay with that pickup, that quick pickup after the turfed disc from Cursive.
Troy, did you know there is a German team called Jinx?
I did not.
Yeah,
Are they here?
They're out of Berlin, and I believe their women's team were going to this event. We haven't seen them on the stream so far, and I haven't followed the results closely enough to tell you how they're doing. But if we do have some German fans, do check it out. Well, eventually they'll all meet at the party towards the end of the week.
That's right.
Cursive in the meantime go the other way, and here's a big flick, a ripper in the end zone. But this one is way too far, even for the unbeatable Bontes, who's been all over the place for Cursive defensively and offensively. Again, not a bad look by Goldstein. I believe that was him, yes, Noah Goldstein.
Yeah, Pontes certainly had some yards on her defender there. Just unfortunate that the disc was pushed out of bounds, didn't quite have the right angle on it to stay in bounds for the desperately running Pontes, who is trying so hard to track that disc down before it went out of bounds.
So HiJinx now in that slightly difficult corner, but really not too much wind, actually quite nice conditions for the players. Gilman goes back to McKay, who slightly overthrows McDowell. And Pontes now for cursive. She will call a foul. It was a very, very tight mark. I think McDowell was trying to rectify that D. And a little discussion, but it's pretty clear from the hand signals that the foul will be uncontested and the stall count will resume at 0. A high disc snatched out of the air by Gilman. He goes to McDowell, who finds Strunk in the middle. McDowell now open in the break side. A pick call. I think the disc should stay where it is, as the players involved in the latest throw were not affected by that call. Tapped back into play. McKay and Strunk working together around the disc. Another pick call. I really believe that all these pick calls kind of are the results of the teams adjusting their game, in a sense that they can't really play what they've practiced or engage in too many set plays, because the conditions affect you so much that you really have to work with them. And that's what I think results in the pick calls, because you're not doing what you trained for, and you really have to adapt. Now that was a really nice low release forehand. Gilman looking for a reset. And he's gonna chuck it deep, and a bit too high for Hansen.
That was unfortunate. He was looking at one handler, another handler trying to get open for him, and they were just getting in each other's way there, so he was forced with a bit of a stall 9 huck down the field, unfortunately.
But we have to be reminded that this is the defensive line for HiJinx. So
what are you saying, that defensive lines are...
No, that they did the best they could. They gave themselves space to actually get the D, and they might have done so immediately, but a hand block will actually be a foul, uncontested, it seems like. So a stall 0 for Goldstein. He goes to Yuan. There's a nice backhand to Belan, and she goes for a beautiful backhand, which actually floated and kind of waited for Yuan, but not long enough. HiJinx go the other way. McKay signaling that he would like some underpasses. That's McDowell centering. And again, that difficult backhand towards the far sideline. A foul call.
Both teams playing a pretty physical game here on the field. Just, you can see how badly they want that disc and they want to get these passes off. And I think the wind is just definitely affecting their mood potentially as well as their throws.
Yeah, and Goldstein recognizes the importance of this point. He's taken a timeout for his team, and as the teams huddle up, we're going to take a little breather here.
We're back on this windy pitch. You can see the players doing a nice little jig in the middle. Both teams coming together between the two huddles of the timeout. It's always nice to see when the players, especially with when they're playing so physically and lots of high calls, they can still come together in the middle and have a little bit of fun doing an Irish jig here in Limerick.
So cursive set up in a vert stack. Oh, actually, I like to call this a T stack with 3 handlers in the back and a vert stack in the middle. And Goldstein marked by McKay will start us off after the timeout. And another foul on the mark.
Looks like they're staying pretty good spirited about it though. Having a laugh out there. That's what you like to see.
Love to see the players switch in between the really tough mode when playing and then the relaxed one when the disc is actually not active. Belair with a deep shot just shy of the end zone and a high disc, and that's a score, an important hold for cursive. The defender from HiJinx staying down but immediately gets help standing up, so hopefully everything is fine.
And that was Megan Doyle that we saw with this score there. She's actually the coach of the McMaster University women's team back in Toronto, Canada. So last season they came in second in the Outdoor Canadian University National Series and first in this winter indoor season.
Some nice fun facts. Thank you for filling out the commentator survey. It is always more fun to actually have some information on the players and being able to say them live on the stream for the fans that are watching you at home from the comfort of their couches, not having to sit out here in the wind or sometimes rain. Gray clouds closing in on this last game of the day. We have about 20 minutes left of the game time. And the pull goes out of bounds. Some people just know how to attract the camera. Good stuff, Rob. Way to rub it in.
Oh, and
if
we're
you're
getting
single,
a replay on that kiss.
if you're single, don't give in to the depression. There's still hope. There's still hope. If our handsome Rob can do it, you can too. Krotzinger, the handler star for HiJinx, will discuss the stall count with Belair. Sorry, Blue N. There's both of these players, but actually that was Fagan. Anyway, Krotzinger goes to Deaver. Deaver with a flick to Donofrio. Now Fuzat has it. HiJinx, get it off the sideline. Swing it to Bogle. Quick pass to Fuzat in the middle. There seem to always have a player open. And here's a big flick into the end zone as that's Donofrio with another score for HiJinx. We're tied at 9.
That was a nice little flick, kind of a 40-yard gainer there from Jones, who is actually the former mayor of Colorado.
Oh, that's pretty impressive.
We also have the former county minister on this team, number 31.
I think
Elise
this
Jones.
is I think this is the last time that somebody is calling sports non-political.
Okay. Former mayor, not current. It's okay.
It's okay. We can all talk about it after.
But yes, they're sisters on the line. So Susan Jones with that assist, former mayor, and her sister Elise Jones, former county commissioner. Playing now for HiJinx from Colorado.
Love a good siblings connection on the field. So we're staying very tight. A big pull from Werner. Floats nicely and is going to roll until it's stopped by the cursive handlers. HiJinx coming out in a zone just for the change of pace. We've got Hayok.
A little bit of a travel call there.
They break through the first cup. Bluen doesn't go for any downfield options, returns the disc to the handlers. Good. Good quick actions. Some sideline advice of think about it, think about it. That's Doyle. And it seems like HiJinx will switch to match. Cursive getting very close to the end zone. And the high release backhand gets tipped off by the defender. Couldn't quite see the number there.
I think that was Megan McVeigh.
Yeah, I think that's the danger of a tall mark. You kind of lose sight for a second of your player, and all of a sudden the defense is there before you know it. So HiJinx into traffic. McVeigh with a high disc to Menning. And cursive just a few meters out. Pontes is picking up. They spread it wide. And here is a nice disc right into the belly of Bluen.
Belair.
Was that Belair or Bluen?
Belair.
21 and 24. Oh my. Yeah, you're right. So Belair with the score. And we'll have another replay of those big fakes.
It just looks like he caught that with his whole body. I am not letting this disc go for anything he says. Much needed hold there.
Right. 10-9 cursive go up. Energy's still big on both sides, I would say.
This has turned into a very exciting game. Well, not that it hadn't been from the start. It's been trading points back and forth, so.
Do you think we will get close to the hard cap, to the point hard cap, which is 15 at all worlds events?
I think we will. Yeah, I think this is going to be a really close finish for both of these teams.
Let's hope for that. Let us know in the comments section. Engage with our content. Hit the subscribe button. Let us know how you're enjoying the stream so far. Cursive trying to startle HiJinx with a zone of their own. Krutzinger working with Cray. And a huge flick is saved by a nice grab right in front of the end zone. We have D'Onofrio now. Back to Krutzinger. She's getting that flick ready, but goes with another sideways throw to D'Onofrio. They get off a nice up line. Lots of big fakes. And D'Onofrio is getting open for the up line, and now there's a very high stall count, and what a grab. Is that going to be out of bounds? A foul called. I think a push-out foul maybe on that catch.
Yeah, the rule is there, if she did catch the disc but was pushed out of bounds, it should be called in. So we'll see what happens here with these two players discussing.
I believe that was Glick with the score. Yeah, she definitely tried to keep her feet in as the defender ran into her, sort of trying to get in front and get the disc.
Yeah, players always do have the option to come and check the cameras for the replay. I don't know if anyone knows that, though. No one has done that
They have
yet.
been informed for sure,
Okay.
and I believe the game advisors have a little talk, but no, they lose the disc. That's unfortunate. Excellent effort still from Glick. That needs to be commended, holding on to the disc. But now they find themselves back on defense. Ooh. Was that a run through D? Or will there be a foul called? Seems like Fagan will keep the disc. She's showing to Glick that she feels like she did have control over the disc. And she keeps possession for Cursive. Here's a nice little break to Tradewell. Bit of a bump on the mark. Westlake centers to Fagan. Here is Bluin. Westlake looking for options. He has somebody break side, but it's too difficult of a throw. Fagan. Here's a flick into traffic, but that's a score and a break for Cursive.
That's got to be hard for HiJinx, especially since they had that almost score in the end zone. Couldn't quite put it in there and finish off that
the
point.
effort, yeah.
That must be a little bit of a hard blow for them. But Cursive able to capitalize on that for a break. Blew in there to Westlake. Really nice catch through traffic there.
I agree, but we've said that it's been kind of the story of this game that if teams break, they break twice. So there's still hope for HiJinx.
Oh, absolutely. They are still in this game for sure. We have seen them come back from 2 breaks down multiple times this game already. I don't doubt that they could do it again easily.
That's right. It would be a pity to give up this late in the game, since they have proved that they're able to come back at Cursive and even surpass them.
Yeah, time and time again, we've seen some really great athletic plays from both of these teams. It's going to come down to the wire, I think, on this one. 10 minutes left to go.
And this pull will... Hard to say if it would have stayed out of bounds, but HiJinx waste no time and get moving. Ooh, there was a deep defender, but a mismatch on that. Great grab by Deaver. Oh, and she has a wide open receiver. Another girl point for HiJinx. Oh my God, you know what I'm loving by Deaver? I think she does the 3-finger forehand, or else the 4-finger forehand. I feel like she's holding that grip really tight with all her fingers. It's not the most common style of holding a forehand grip, but it surely works, and it worked in the last point as well. HiJinx staying in the game.
And that's Deaver. So her husband Will is actually here as well, and Will Deaver is a name that some of you may have heard. He runs a lot of things for US Ultimate, getting to take a break this weekend and play for himself at Worlds, not having to run this tournament. So
always nice to leave the responsibilities behind once in a while.
And that was Tina McDowell, who was left wide open in the end zone there for the score.
McDowell with three goals and 1 assist, is it? Sometimes we don't get the stats perfectly every time, but surely she was involved in lots of points. Again, thank you volunteers and everyone helping us with the stream, including keeping the stats. Another 120 volunteers keeping the time and scoring. On the other fields, a huge pull will have to be taken from the back of the end zone, which does put additional pressure on Cursive as they missed the first pass. Went right in between the hands of Fagan.
That can be difficult because they're rushing to get the disc.
And HiJinx with a score, which might be called back as a foul call is called on the field. Can't believe they decided to go for a push pass on that one. McKay, just very casual. I think the defender is saying that D'Onofrio sort of pushed off of him as he was going to the break side. So the disc is returned to McKay. Will he go for another push pass or not? It's a 50-50, I would say. Doesn't have too many options right now. And he goes for the quick backhand to number 47. That's Fuzat. And that's a break for HiJinx. And I think we're tied at 11.
Yeah, just like that. As we said, HiJinx answering with a point and a break of their own, tying up the game. This really is going to come down to the wire. These two teams are battling hard out here.
Surprised there was no foul called. McKay might have only slipped. But look at this front end zone line score.
Yeah, that was definitely that point. I think we can contribute a lot of that point to the pull.
To the pull, and I didn't see who threw it, but props to them. They can replay that and enjoy that on the free stream that will stay available throughout the week, so you can go back and enjoy the performances all week long. Thanks to WFDF supporting and promoting the global advancement of disc sports and spirit of the game. Keep following their YouTube channel for more action throughout the week. Here's a pull from HiJinx. McKay puts it up for the Cursive offense. Goldstein picks up. He'll be working with Hui. Who else but Pontes with a big gainer. She fakes the hook, doesn't take it though. Here's a nice one to Blake. Good grab under pressure. Cursive don't get there, it's an overthrow. And HiJinx with an important turnover and a wide open receiver downfield. That's Deaver collecting it on the end zone line. Could that be another break for HiJinx?
Ooh, timeout called right on the end zone line.
D'Onofrio is gonna call an injury as he's holding on to his hamstring. Fuzat with this big forehand. So, will there be a timeout or will that just be a sub? It seems like the teams are huddling up.
Yes, I think this is going to be a timeout. Well-timed timeout. This is a very important point for HiJinx to be right outside the goal line, so not surprising that D'Onofrio called a timeout there.
So, if you want to know whether this will be a well-used timeout or the so-called wait, what is it called? I forgot the word. Turnout, a turnover after a timeout. Stay tuned and we will take a little breather. Welcome back after the timeout. An exciting tight game between HiJinx from Colorado, USA and Cursive, Toronto, Canada. HiJinx looking to surpass Cursive once again with a chance to break right outside the end zone. They will go for the dump pass first. And I think a little too quick on that throw. And as Goldstein puts it deep straight away, but it will be collected by the defense. McKay finds Crawford with a low grab on the other side. Fuzat. Going to number 6 that we don't have on our roster. And here is Fuzat with the disc again.
Looks like there was a pick call, so disc will return to number 6 in the middle there.
Mr. Pink Cleats. Fuzat fakes the forehand, doesn't take it. Oh, and that forehand got pushed down for McKay.
Those really short distance zippy flicks are so hard to control and get the right angle, the right spin on, and so hard to catch.
You can only see the level of wind by really watching closely the jerseys of the players. Pontes, big fakes and a huge forehand. Again, a pretty good look. She had Belair with some separation, but honestly, this is the best option. Really trying to get the D downfield and have a short field to work with.
Emotions are probably running high for both of these teams right now. Quite anxious to close out this game.
Minute and a half left of game time. So this might potentially be one of the last points of this game. HiJinx in possession. Fuzat looking for his reset. He gets Mr. Pink Cleats. They swing it further sideways to Strunk. Pink Cleats with an overhead. It finds its intended receiver. It's McKay. Now working with Fuzat. Contested catches, lots of pressure from Cursive. But HiJinx staying calm, but they need to put one up. Oh, it's collected. Fuzat is underneath. That's a big gainer for HiJinx. Very lucky. Strunk now, going to McKay. McKay to Deaver. Fuzat wants some options downfield, but a pick call. We will see what the stall count comes in.
We are getting very, very close to end game time. This could actually turn out to be the double game point right here if it goes into hard cap.
Fuzat goes for the big around flick. Is somebody underneath? Who's gonna read it better? It is Strunk. And that's a break for HiJinx. Last second surpass of Cursive, who were up in the second half by 2 points, I believe. Very good holding the nerve by HiJinx. We're at the end of end time. I think the time went during the last point, so now we're gonna add one more to the highest score, which would be 13, so I think it's game to 13. Let's have a look at that again. This was such a big one. I can't believe he didn't travel on that one. And what a nice box out by Strunk.
Both teams working really hard for that. Cursive making that a difficult point for HiJinx, putting a lot of pressure on all of those catches. Several turnovers in that point. HiJinx able to pull it out in the end, though. Cursive really need this point now to stay.
Yeah, and HiJinx were going into the wind on that one. So now it's Cursive's turn to work their way against the wind. A little bit of clarification regarding the gender ratio. A little exchange will take place on the side of HiJinx. We'll bring in an extra woman. And here's Curtis Manning preparing for the pull. Three, two, one. And a game point for HiJinx with a huge pull all the way to the Cursive's end zone. Luckily this time the first pass goes off to Fagan. Finds the reset from Bluen. Not too many options. Fagan gets the up line. He's gonna put up a big floaty forehand. Collected by Hutchins. Nice inside break to Bluen. He's working with Baxter.
I'm on the edge of my seat with this point right now.
So am I. I'm gonna stand up. It's gonna make it a bit easier. A game stoppage will give us a little bit of a breather to catch our breath. The disc will go back to Bluen.
Cursive score here, there will be one more point. HiJinx score here, and the game is over.
That's right, a great throw to Westlake. Cursive now moving quickly towards their end zone. There was a wide open Bluen in the end zone, but due to the game stoppage, HiJinx will have time to recover. Westlake with the disc, guarded by Nolte.
I think it's reasons like this that new rule of contact has been brought into place, so you don't have to have a stoppage, but these being veteran players may not be as used to that vocabulary being with them.
That's right. Belair on the sideline. Will go for a high release backhand, but a bit of contact on that release. Very hard to tell who got there first. If it was both players, yeah. Belair kind of trying to go over her mark, but then again, there could be other aspects in play, such as market infractions.
It did look like there might have been a bit of contact as she was trying to release that disc, so.
Belair looking for the reset. Westlake clears. And someone else takes his place. Clear instructions are where we want to go, but he was directing traffic so hard. That was Bluen. He was directing traffic so hard that he didn't even notice that there was a pick called many seconds ago, I have to say, almost at the start. That's why nobody was moving and following his instructions. Disc gets tapped back in, and another pick will stop the play.
Oh my.
He now has Baxter behind him for an easy reset, but I would bet he will not want to take it. No, he won't. He'll find Westlake and get the disc again right in front of the end zone. And here's the score for Cursive, staying tight. And we're tied at 12, and that can only mean one thing, Troy.
Universe points.
Woohoo!
That's right. That was Fagan in the end zone for that score. She played such a crucial part of that point, really working the disc well with her other handlers, bringing it up the field. Her and Bluen really working so well together and able to finish off that point together.
Nice give and go and a quick pass into the end zone. Fagan raises her hand to signal the point, and at 105 minutes of game time, the players will take a short timeout to really prepare for that last universe point. Ladies and gentlemen, take a breather and let's get ready to finish off this game. Welcome back for the Universe Point at this Grandmasters mixed game between HiJinx and Cursive, and a Canadian and an American or US team representing their countries and home clubs. We've had such a blast watching this game. Every time somebody pulled away, the other team managed to come back, and now we're tied at 12 going into the Universe Point after a timeout. Both teams more ready than ever. Troy, how excited are you?
This has been a fantastic game to watch. So many big plays, huge hucks, great bids. This last point is going to be epic. I can feel it. Cursive has the luck of the draw here, going downwind for this last point. Both teams have scored multiple upwind points though, so HiJinx is definitely not to be counted out. They are starting on O, so both teams have a little bit of an advantage going into this last point. And I think it's going to be epic.
They really need to bring out their best 7 for Cursive. It will be some defensive players. Oh, here's a lonely fan wandering around to have a look at the Universe Point, but he doesn't seem too interested. Maybe there's other games and that are equally exciting right behind that hill where the other pitches are located. So let's have a look at the 7 on the line for HiJinx. Their best O players. We will have 4 women on the line. How exciting. I'm seeing the tall frame of Donofrio. Of course, there will be Kratzinger. Who else? Number 12, Deaver. Yeah, Gilman. Glick. Pull goes up. All the way in the end zone. You can see the wind really pushing it. Kratzinger finds Gilman. Gilman looking for the reset. Kratzinger gets off, gets the up line. She thinks about the deep shot. Doesn't take it. Not too many options. She has to put it up. And lots of pressure from Pontes. And I believe Glick is going to call a foul. Definitely lots of contact. Pontes will contest it. She might ask a perspective from the game advisor. Let's have a look at the replay.
Lots of pressure on that catch either way.
It might even be a strip call, given the gestures I'm seeing from both the players.
Let's take a quick look at that.
We'll see that again. I think Pontes might be claiming that she got to the disc first, but I still think that doesn't justify the contact that occurred right after. But easy enough. We'll just go back to Kratzinger, who is in a high stall situation for sure. She solved it really well, and now we see Donofrio signaling that he will go for the up line. I think he might have moved a little too quickly. And another foul on the contested catch, this time on Matt Cray.
Bluin does not contest this one though, so it stays with Cray.
Obviously a very hyped up last point, lots of pressure. Defensive players know they only get that many chances on this last point. Kratzinger clearing up line. And HiJinx center the disc to Gilman. Gilman working with Cray. Not afraid to swing it. Here's a good pass to the middle to Deaver, but it might go back again due to a pick. It's nice to have little breaks to make sure that you can really go full speed on both O and D. Cray scanning the field for options. He will go for the overhead, but that's too far, despite the great effort from Gilman.
Wouldn't be a Universe Point without a hammer though, so.
That's right, Cursive go the other way. All they need is Belair with completely open field. Oh, and that disc wobbles, and there were other receivers behind her, I think. Second chance for HiJinx. Kratzinger picks up immediately. Cray to the middle. To Schlosser. Schlosser has it again, but a pick downfield stops the play. Keep grinding, says the sideline. Easier said than done, people. This gets tapped back in. And here's a big backhand, but that's way too far. 3 cursive defender against Glick, but a foul will be called on the throw. Lots and lots of contact and pressure from cursive defenders.
Stakes are high. Well, I mean, it is only day 1 for the Grandmasters, so maybe not too high, but still exciting, wanting to come out with a victory in this game.
That's right. D'Onofrio steps around for the nice break. Finds Gilman. Now Cray has it. Rain starts falling down. A few more chances. That's Deaver. And a travel call. Deaver will have time to dry off her disc. But HiJinx getting dangerously close to the end zone. Belair tries to seek a little spot away from the rain, but directly in front of us. Cray with a forehand to Deaver. Deaver right outside of the end zone, and another stoppage.
One more pass and this game could be over.
Cursive really need to put even more pressure on, but instead game advisors get involved. Disc back into play. Deaver, oh, with a nice quick pass to D'Onofrio, but it just rolls out of his hands.
Unbelievable.
Big fakes. Oh! Another wobble by Westlake. He needs to get up quickly and set the mark. There's still a chance. Never give up. Here's Deaver. She's completely free up line. But the mark closes the option off. That was a good one. And here's another one. And there it is, D'Onofrio with the last score for HiJinx. What a game. HiJinx from the Colorado, US take the game over Cursive Canada, 13-12. Troy, what a last point.
What a game. Both teams having options in that last point, both having a few turnovers each, a couple drops right on the end zone line, but HiJinx managing to pick it up and just capitalize on that latest drop from Cursive. Unfortunate right on their own defending end zone, but what a game that was.
Incredible steady game in that last point from HiJinx offense. We'll see a replay again. This was the one turnover that Cursive were able to force out, but here's the wobble. Despite the gloves, despite doing everything they could, Westlake really did a great job stopping the first upline pass, but on the second one, even though he bid, D'Onofrio was just wide open, and here he is clapping with his teammates. That's the score, and this is how we conclude the last game of today. Don't you worry though, we've got you covered, and there's more games coming tomorrow. We're still streaming the main pitch. We'll start off with a Grandmasters Open pool play. Black Cans and Highlands from the US will face off SG Uncles from Singapore. Later on, we will have a Master mixed game of PUC Ultimate, the winner of the European Ultimate Club Masters Championship, facing off Long Donkeys from RSA.
Is that Russia?
That is not Russia.
No.
Russia for now is banned of
Oh, that's right.
from all world events. So we apologize for not knowing, but you know, that's going to just be a nice surprise for you. And we'll follow up with Gold, Gentle Old, and Eurothai Ultimate Club out of Colombia, and so on and so on. Lots of action for free at the YouTube channel of WFDF. This stream is copyrighted by the World Flying Disc Association Federation. And with all the mistakes, but all the love, it was Rachel Dushnurova and
Troy Weston.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the other side.
Alti.tv.
Guys,